They told you inflation was a mistake, a side effect of bad policy, a temporary consequence of global instability. But what if it isn't? What if inflation, the rising cost of everything you depend on, isn't accidental at all, but engineered? Because in the invisible economy, inflation isn't a flaw. It's a feature. They tell you it's natural, cyclical, even necessary. But beneath the charts, beneath the political statements, and beneath the numbers scrolling across financial screens, there's something deeper, a design. A quiet mechanism that siphons wealth from motion, not creation. Let's start with what they don't tell you. Inflation doesn't happen because everyone suddenly decides to raise prices. It happens because the system requires it. For the illusion of growth to exist, money must move faster than productivity, faster than value, faster than truth. When real growth slows, the numbers must still rise. And when they can't rise from production, they rise from illusion. That illusion is called inflation, the hidden tax of modern life. It's not collected by governments at the end of the year. It's extracted daily, at the checkout counter, at the gas station, in your rent. Every small rise compounds silently, and every percentage point transfers billions upward. Inflation is not a mistake. It's the system's heartbeat. You feel it every day. In the grocery aisle where prices change faster than labels can be printed. In your paycheck that grows slower than your bills. In the way affordable quietly redefines itself each year. And somehow, no matter how bad it gets, the same people always end up richer. Why? Because inflation punishes savers and rewards borrowers. And the world's largest borrower isn't you. It's the government. And the corporations orbiting around it. When inflation rises, debt loses weight. Money borrowed yesterday is repaid tomorrow in weaker currency. It's economic alchemy, turning debt into profit through devaluation. They win twice, once when they borrow cheap money, and again when that money loses value. You lose twice, once when your savings shrink, and again when your cost of living explodes. It's not a cycle. It's extraction. Here's how the engineering begins. Step 1, print money. Step 2, flood the system. Step 3, deny the consequences. They call it liquidity injection, quantitative easing, stimulus. But it's all the same, new money created out of nothing, poured into financial systems, not into the hands of workers. And new money doesn't spread evenly. It flows to the top first, to banks, hedge funds, and asset managers. By the time it trickles down to you, prices have already adjusted. It's an old phenomenon, centuries old, known as the Cantillon effect. Where the first recipients of new money gain the most, and the last ones bear the cost. It's not theory. It's policy. So when the media tells you inflation is due to supply chain disruptions or unexpected demand, ask yourself, who controls supply? Who manufactures demand? The same corporations that dominate logistics, production, and retail, global conglomerates that treat inflation not as a problem, but as an opportunity. They raise prices before scarcity even begins, citing fear and speculation as justification. And once people expect higher prices, they accept them. Inflation is as much psychological as it is financial. Convince people the world is getting expensive, and it will. Now watch the next move. Prices rise. People panic. Governments announce relief, wage hikes, subsidies, social programs. But the relief money? It's borrowed. Printed. Fabricated debt disguised as compassion. And that debt feeds the same fire it claims to fight. The more they print, the more prices rise. The more prices rise, the more they print. The cure becomes the poison. It's not mismanagement. It's choreography. Behind closed doors, policymakers know inflation erases debt in silence. A government owing trillions can quietly erase billions by devaluing its currency. 10% inflation means 10% less real debt, without ever paying it off. So they don't fight inflation. They manage it. A little each year keeps the illusion alive. The illusion that economies are growing, that debt is sustainable, that progress continues. But underneath that illusion is the truth: the system needs inflation the way a fire needs oxygen. Because without inflation, the financial machine stalls. Loans dry up. Markets freeze. Growth halts. And if growth halts, belief collapses. Belief, not money, is what holds the system together. That's why inflation isn't an accident. It's the quiet engine of control. And the drivers of that engine? Central banks, unelected, unaccountable, operating above politics yet steering every government. They raise rates to fight inflation. They cut rates to stimulate growth. But whichever direction they move, the outcome is always the same: volatility. And volatility is profit. Because the wealthy don't fear uncertainty, they design it. Each swing of the market, each policy shift, each panic creates another opportunity for those who control capital. They win when it rises. They win when it falls. They win because they understand the system was built to ensure they always do. Meanwhile, the middle class becomes the shock absorber of the modern economy. Squeezed by rising prices, rising rents, rising debt, and stagnant wages. It's not a crisis. It's conditioning. Inflation doesn't just extract wealth, it reshapes behavior. When saving becomes futile, people stop saving. When ownership feels unreachable, people rent everything. Homes, cars, software, furniture, even friendships, gamified through subscriptions and apps. An economy of renters is an economy of dependence, always paying, never owning, never free. Inflation becomes the invisible teacher, training society to accept instability as normal. Because desperate people don't question the rules. They obey them. And yet, every cycle comes with a convenient scapegoat. A pandemic. A war. A natural disaster. A global crisis beyond control. But if you track the numbers, patterns emerge. Inflation begins before the crisis. It spikes during panic. It lingers long after recovery. It's managed like a thermostat, raised and lowered strategically to balance debt, spending, and obedience. They don't want stability. They want predictability. A predictable population is easy to model, easy to sell to, easy to control. Here's the cruelest trick of all: inflation erases not only wealth, but memory. Each generation grows up with a different sense of normal. What cost $1 in 1980 costs 10 today, and few even remember when it was cheaper. Slowly, expectations shift. The definition of affordable, comfortable, middle class, all drift upward until they vanish. It's not just economic erosion. It's cultural amnesia. People forget what fairness used to feel like. They stop demanding it. And as the memory fades, the machine strengthens. Every percentage point of inflation transfers billions from wage earners to asset holders. Every adjustment consolidates more power at the top. It's not theft with guns. It's theft with graphs. Every statistic you see hides an exchange, value leaving your pocket, entering theirs. They call it growth. But growth for whom? Inflation is not the fire. It's the fuel, and the machine running on it was built long before you were born. You see, inflation doesn't destroy wealth. It redistributes it. It moves silently, invisibly, shifting power without headlines or revolutions. And the more it moves, the more they depend on it. The system needs inflation not to survive chaos, but to maintain order. A predictable rate of erosion keeps society running. It forces you to work harder, borrow more, and accept less. As long as you're chasing stability, you'll never notice who's holding the stopwatch. Because inflation isn't just economic policy. It's social architecture. It tells you how fast to live, how long to work, how much to hope. You measure success by surviving its pace. You measure freedom by how well you can afford captivity. And the architects of this invisible economy? They stay hidden behind terms like monetary policy and fiscal adjustment. They meet in glass towers, speaking a language of numbers that sounds objective but serves power. Every decimal on their spreadsheets has a heartbeat behind it. A worker, a family, a dream priced out by quiet calculation. Inflation isn't chaos. It's coordination. It's the grand illusion that keeps modern civilization spinning just fast enough to distract, but never fast enough to escape. And so, the cycle continues. Each year, your money buys less. Each decade, ownership slips further away. Each generation, the gap widens between those who produce and those who profit. Until one day, you stop asking why bread costs what it does. And start believing that's just how life works. That's when they've won. Because inflation isn't meant to be solved. It's meant to be sustained. It's the quiet engine of the invisible economy. A design so elegant, so pervasive, you can live your entire life inside it without ever realizing it was built to keep you running. So the next time you hear the words inflation is under control, ask who defines control. Ask who benefits when your cost of living rises faster than your hope. Ask why every crisis ends the same way, with the wealthy owning more and everyone else owning less. Then you'll see the truth. Inflation isn't an accident. It's architecture. It's not the system breaking down. It is the system. And as long as you keep running to catch up, you'll never notice who's holding the stopwatch.